Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Thank you for tuning in today. You are now listening to That Will Never Work podcast with your host, Maurice Chisholm. Welcome. I thank you for tuning in with me today. Again, this is your host, Maurice, and we're going to get into it right now. My topic for today is changing the menu. Changing the menu. Now you might ask, Maurice, what does it mean by changing? What are you talking about changing the menu? So right now, what we're going through, this transition of classes, economic classes, and our spending habits are changing. We're focusing on more local, small businesses than we are on big box businesses. But something you might want to take in consideration. The big box organizations, businesses, they pay attention to consumer habits. They pay attention to trends, what is popular at the moment. A lot of times, us as small business owners do not pay total attention to that. So, I challenge you today to take the approach of changing the menu. Now, that mindset comes from restaurateurs, that where they pay attention to their menu for the most part. And they change the menu based on seasons, based on trends, based on what's on the menu and what's selling. Those are the type of things that we need to take in consideration. Now, changing the menu could be a lot of different things. Changing the menu could be doing a full remodel of your building that you have right now. Changing the menu can be adding new items that creates some type of diversity within what you offer. And maybe sometimes replacing some of those things that are no longer your workhorse and revamping that and revisiting that into something that's going to create more opportunities for you. And sometimes when we say that, we think about more about financial, but sometimes it's not even financial. Sometimes it's just something that's going to become more trendy, make you more noticeable. So sometimes we really need to really think about the changes that we have and when we do replacements. And sometimes we just need to do maybe a redesign, which could be just renaming what you have. Maybe even doing a play on words on something, redesigning your logo, redesign your or rewording your hashtags, rewording your slogan. All these things that we all need to take a great consideration as we're moving forward. I challenge you today to do just that, to look at your menu, look at what you have, and take an honest approach of what needs to change. Now, as you're doing that, take your time. Maybe you need to run a special menu, quote unquote, just to see if it's going to have an effect on your potential customers. Maybe you need to do some type of community research. Maybe even consider upgrading your menu boards. Consider having a chalkboard. Consider having ways of doing or advertising on your digital platforms to inform your customers, both new and old, your changes, what you're offering, and how you are listening to the people. Changing the menu is not always something negative. It can be positive. And that's one of the things that we need to consider in this new age that we're walking into. See, in the past, for those companies that were able to diversify and to make changes, go with the flow, those were companies that were able to ride the wave of depression, of slow economy, and all these other challenges that we are facing in society. We have a lot of challenges right now. And for those of us that are small business owners, we need to start looking at our menu a little harder and figuring out where we need to go, what we need to do, and how do we need to support one another. So I challenge all of us today. I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at my menu. I'm paying attention to what I have and how effective it has or has not been. My approaches. I'm even changing my attitude towards it. Some things I don't want to touch. And you may feel the exact same way. But we have to change with the times. I hope and pray that this mindset, this little talk today, helps you in moving forward with your company, with your ideas, with your customers, and with your menu. Think about changing your menu. Thank you.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.